The barn itself, it's a cob barn. It's in a very bad way. And as you see when we go around, I mean, it is uneconomical to keep this, but it's Grade 2 listed, and I am determined that these kind of farm buildings don't survive anymore because they're not economical, and therefore I might as well waste my money on this. So we are going to try very hard to save it. The main problem is it was re-roofed, we don't know when, certainly pre the 60s, 50s, I don't know, and they roofed it short. So actually what's happened is the rain has eroded the cob terribly. Originally, of course, this was a threshing floor. So you've got two doorways, and as you can feel, the air flows through it, and they would have threshed the corn here, so the husk would have blown away. And then eventually, of course, it converted to a horse engine power, so you've got the drive shaft and you know, for the horses, and it would have mechanised. It's got rather lovely, we think these are owl holes, there's one either end. They're definitely nothing to do with beams, they weren't put in place for beams. So we think they were owl holes designed to let the owls come in. The major problem here is that being a cob building, because of the problems that you get with cob, it's going outward, and you can see how badly they're going out. So the walls have failed at the joins. This end is better, but it's still pretty terrible. We've got major failure in all the walls, and in reality it isn't actually mendable as it stands. And it's a very simple problem that happened. It's missing its beam across the end. We don't know when that was lost, but as a consequence, when we've had weight on it, it's pushed the walls out. The other thing that's happened is that you get, around here you get a thing called minor bees, and the minor bees make little holes in the walls. Then the sparrows and the rodents follow, and so I've got more holes in my walls than I've got cob. So it's the aero barn, it's full of holes. And so at the moment, depending on, I mean, the advice from the architects, and I think it's we're working with the Dartmoor National Park to try to come up with a strategy for saving it, and the most obvious one is to put a steel frame in it. Now that's controversial because obviously it is a steel frame in a listed building, but it's almost unrealistic to try to save it any other way because all the walls are so weak that I'm going to have to basically rebuild them. And then you lose the history of it anyway, so in my eyes, what's the point? So I'd rather stick in a very blatant repair of a steel frame. It would be very simple, but it would allow us, you see, to tie all the walls to the frame. So the frame will become the weight bearer, take the weight of the roof, the walls will be bolted onto it to tie it. And I think in doing that, yes, it's going to be expensive, but it does stabilise it. And it then means that all the walls, the original walls can be kept, repaired with patching, but they're not then having to become structural.